at that guy. I hate missing people. Everybody have a card?
I have a question about the sun.
Okay. Sure. It's not a pamphlet, but you can look it up.
If the Earth is flat and then nothing's rotating, if it's not rotating, then how do we explain like this day and night?
Oh, that's easy. Oh, thank God this is... All right, can you come over to my banner? Okay. Excuse me. So right here you see the sun only illuminates part of it at one time. It's so small and close, it does not cover the whole Earth at one time. So it moves around in a circle, and it goes from the Tropic of Cancer, which is our summer, and now it's moving down towards the Tropic of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn on a globe is much smaller. Did somebody take my globe? Come on, you guys. Let's... Oh, it's right here on my arm. I'm so dumb. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. So, down here on a globe, the Tropic of Capricorn is about the same size as the Tropic of Cancer. But if it's a flat surface, then the Tropic of Capricorn has to be much, much larger. So, how does that happen when the sun has to get around in the same 24-hour period? The sun has to move faster. And it does. When you are below or outside of the equator, the sun moves faster. If you know anybody down in Australia, or down like South Africa. I have a friend in South Africa. They will tell you the sun goes so fast across the sky you can watch it move. And there's no twilight. It just disappears very quickly. So start talking to people across the world. You know, you on the internet, you can talk to anybody you want, anywhere. So start asking questions. Start making friends across the world and talk to them about these things.
I want your cards. I gotta go to class.
Oh, yeah. I didn't got a card. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can I get a photo with you? What do you know? What do you know about Tesla?
What did you go to school for?
Okay.
Thank you,
Can I ask what your degree is in?
I have a business degree and finance and marketing, okay? My father was a math teacher, and he flew off aircraft carriers. He was a pilot, okay? My son is a physics major. He does all these math problems in his head. I homeschooled my kids. I taught my son Algebra 1.
So did you teach your kids that the Earth is flat? Yeah.
They're all grown up now, and they know I do this, but I'm going to let them come to it on their own. I don't force it on anybody.
So your kids are smart.
Stop hating on
Hold on.
Be for real, stop.
Go ahead.
Come on, Bronze.
You want to take a picture? Go ahead.
Sure, okay. Think about it, though. The education system with how kids are taught has never been changed.
Don't get fresh.
Or updated.
Watch it.
And they're all taught to believe the same thing for the past, with the education system.
Hold on, let me get
Okay. All right, you're welcome. So, does anybody have an intelligent question? No. I didn't think so. Did you all get one of these? Hey, weren't you the guy in there yelling at me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it is round, like a pizza.
No, it's round.
And Antarctica is the crust. It goes around the outside edge.
Does it explain to me if we're flat, why is the sun not constantly shining all over the country?
Because it's very small.
It's very small.
It's very small, and it only illuminates a certain amount at one time. Like right there. Over there, number 143. And all those numbered blocks coincide with the video you will find here. Did everybody get one?
We good.
Nah, the sun's big like that.
No, ask a smart question, like something that you really think about, like curvature. Why don't you tell me, where's the curvature? Why don't you tell me that? Show me the curve.
Exactly.
Show it to me.
You see the curve.
If you can find curvature.
You see the curve.
That is a level. It is not supposed to curve. I'm sorry.
Get up on top of the building.
It's a curve.
It's a curve, bro.
Look at that.
You can look this up.
No, the Earth's not flat.
It is.
It's what are the government,
That's the Earth.
Yeah, now there's something called a fisheye lens or a wide-angle lens. Now listen, did everybody see that Red Bull commercial? The Red Bull commercial. Do you remember that? Did you see that? Did you see the Red Bull commercial?
Yes.
Okay. Did you watch when he opened the door?
Yeah.
When he opened the door, they have a regular lens camera inside, and it's flat. But when he goes outside, there's a wide-angle lens, and that's curved.
It's also a commercial.
Oh no, bro! Like
Energy drink.
All right. So then, don't show me pictures from NASA that are really images. They have to call them images because they aren't pictures.
Wait, what?
What? That's the same thing.
The same thing.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
So you're saying images, pictures, spheres, round, and circle all
No, Robert Simmons. He works at NASA, and he will tell you that they have to be composite. He takes strips and glues them together. He cannot get a full picture.
Exactly.
Now, why is that? Why is that?
The Earth is
We
We
have.
don't have a camera big enough to take a picture of the Earth like that.
Did you ever see the picture of the Earth from the moon?
Yes. There's pictures everywhere. Yeah, there's pictures
Okay.
everywhere. Have you seen the
How
other
big
planets?
it,
They're all
stop
circles.
talking and listen. Did you ever get the whole picture of the Earth in that? Hold you back? Then I think you need to move on. If you cannot control yourself, then you cannot stand here.
She's fine. She can stay wherever the hell she wants.
Okay? I will take any intelligent question. Did you get one?
All right, my question is... Yes, I got it. Why? What's the point of them lying to us about the Earth being round instead of flat?
Okay. Tell me what you know about the model today. What do we have today? How is our Earth made? And what do they call that? Come on, there's a TV show called The Big Bang Theory. I love that show, but... I know, but it's a funny show. It's a funny show. I like it. So, this was all a random event. The globe is a random event. Okay? So, the flat Earth is a flat plane, and there's a dome over the top, and that had to be created by somebody or something.
Okay.
Okay, so there's two different models here.
The one thing I'm still worried or confused about is why? What's the point of the whole flat thing? Like, why would the government?
Okay.
Why would anyone lie about the Earth just being?
Okay, first off, let me tell you something. You go find curvature. If you can find curvature, you have to determine if they're telling the truth or if they're lying. When you go into, if you're a detective and you go in and you see somebody was murdered, don't you have to gather the evidence first?
Exactly.
Okay, so gather the evidence and then determine if this was a murder or a suicide or what it was.
So if we do reach the edge of that circle, what would happen?
There's a wall.
There's a wall?
There's a wall, a dome you bounce off of, so you can't fall. There's a wall.
we just teleport when we get to the edge.
So, scientists have proved that the Earth is on a 22 angle scale when it changes from the north of the hemisphere, southern hemisphere with changing seasons. How would you explain that with your science?
32.4 degrees.
22 degrees, actually. The poles shift when they rotate around the sun so that it changes seasons.
No, that's not what changes seasons.
Well, what changes seasons?
On the ball, I know the ball better than you do, and this is something that you say that you know, that you believe in it. This rules your world, and you don't even know that.
My father is a science of Earth science. My
Okay,
father's a professor
and you don't know this? Come on.
She's gonna try to make you feel bad.
I'll tell you what's flat. This woman's perspective.
Let's talk about perspective. Right there. Here, right here is perspective. Let's talk about perspective.
Sure, let's talk about perspective. Here's what I think. The Earth is on a round plane.
No.
It's just propaganda.
That's not perspective.
One way of
That's a stupid opinion.
If you want to believe in the Earth, you believe that it's round. If you believe it's flat, you believe it's fat. Well, let me tell you one thing. The science does not stop. The Earth is round. If you don't testify it, then you don't agree with it. The world is round, and we are round people. Believe in the science, believe in the people, and don't believe in the false propaganda. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah! Can I testify? Believe in the world. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want that man for
Yeah, we're with you. I'm glad I paid for college. I've never been to space, so I don't know. Yeah.
Exactly right. You don't know. That's right. But they show us these images, and we're supposed to believe everything they tell us. And we don't know. That's right. You need to get a code.
Have you ever been to space, James? No, but I've been on an airplane.
Does it exist?
You've been on an airplane. You know, there's a good mix of people here. There's some who are actually thinking. Exactly. Some are making a joke. Some don't even want to think. I think at a college you should want to think. If you look into this and study it, you will be smarter just for studying it, even if you never accept it.
Do you have any books about this? You should write a book.
There are books about it. Right here.
Write a book.
Right there. Right there. Right there.
I promise you I'll buy the
Are all other planets round if ours is flat?
When you look at a telescope, all you see is a two-dimensional circle. You cannot tell if it's round or spherical. Round is okay. Spherical. You can't tell if it's spherical.
Laying out the map for the whole planet of Mars. It's completely.
I don't believe any of that. I don't believe it.
So we don't have a Mars rover.
No.
Nope.
No, we don't.
Planets by chance?
The planets, up until about 80 years ago, they were all called wandering stars. Planets, I don't think that there's anything solid, you know, like I think they're just wandering stars. We don't really know.
Have you ever looked through a telescope by chance?
Yeah. This is something. Everything that's on my banners you will find right there.
What is about? It's about what?
That the Earth is really a flat plane. It's really a flat surface and not spherical like this. It's not this.
Oh, it's not this?
It's flat.
Oh,
it is.
Wait, how do you know that? How you been outside the Earth atmosphere?
Because it is no curvature. There's a curvature formula, and you can figure that out by right here. Okay, that figures out the formula. Then you go find curvature. If you can't find any, and we've been trying for 2.5, more than that, years. We've been looking for years. There's no curvature.
That means, excuse me,
Sir.
it's not like this. You mean it's not like this?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No?
You mean it's like that?
It's like this. That's the flat, and there's Antarctica goes around. It's more like that.
It's more like that?
Yes.
But what happens if you get to the end of the ice?
I don't know. I was never there, and they don't let you go there. You want to go to Antarctica? You pay thousands of dollars, and they hold your hand. They do not allow any free exploration. Ever since Admiral Byrd went there in the 50s, then they closed it all off. And 53 countries, there has never been a legitimate war ever since the Antarctic Treaty. So the only wars we're having is to instill a central bank. Did you know that? Everybody should look up Look up the Federal Reserve System and realize what that's doing. You are going to be going somewhere and dying to install a bank. A central bank. That's why they're killing our good boys. All of our good men are dying for a bank. The military is being sent to the Middle East to install central banks. It's nothing to do with anything of our interests. And I don't want our good men to be killed.
I don't know. Anyone can answer
Anybody else?
What's up with gravity? Wait, why don't you believe in gravity?
In what?
Gravity theory proved false. What?
I don't see. Where does that say that?
Gravity theory.
Oh, yeah, gravity is a theory. Gravity is a theory. So I don't think that. See, all right. Here's a test for gravity. This will prove gravity is wrong. If gravity exists, there would be no natural flat places on Earth. Did you know that the Bonneville Salt Flats? I believe that things fall. I agree that things fall, and there is a rate, and you can put a formula on it, but it's not being pulled down. Bonneville Salt Flats was formed by a great salt lake that dried up.
Yeah, guys, why do you
If the Great Salt Lake that dried up to make the Bonneville Salt Flats was curved, then the salt flats would be also curved. And it's not, it's a flat. There's also Lake Baikal in the Siberia that's 400 miles long and it's flat. The ice that gets on there is like a sheet of glass. And there's also Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, where they take all those famous pictures, where the sky looks like it's reflected and you look like you're walking in the middle of the air. That's, if there's an inch of rain, there's an inch all over the entire area. 100 miles by 80 miles. So you have to look these things up and ask yourself these questions. Why is that? What could possibly do that? There is no gravity or there would be no salt flats.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you mean the Earth not moving?
The Earth does not move, correct. By these experiments right there. They prove it does not move.
You think the Earth is not moving?
The Earth does not move. The sun and the moon move around the top of us. And this is another one right here. The star trails, they move above us. The stars move. The Earth does not.
Really?
Yes. If you look into this, you'll study it.
I'm going to do some research on your paper.
Good idea. Good idea. You'll be much smarter if you look into it. You can't help but be much smarter by looking into it. Do you want a card? Don't ever be afraid of the evidence. A true scientist will never reject evidence without looking at it. So if you want to think you're a scientist, you got to look at this.
I'm sorry. Can I have a pamphlet for this card here?
Sure. Sure. I had to wear gloves. It's so cold today.
What did you?
I'm sorry?
Why are we being told that it's round?
Well, that's easy. Big Bang Theory says nothing exploded, and yet all this material was just randomly, random is the word, randomly out into space, and friction made everything into a ball, right? And somehow these little amoebas or bacteria just randomly turned into human beings over millions and millions of years.
Randomly.
Okay? So, you know what? The way evolution was taught over the years has changed. The only thing that evolves is the theory of evolution. Because when I was at school, they taught it exactly as I explained it to you. Okay? So, when people get smarter, and the internet has been a great blessing to humanity, because we can find information at our fingertips and we can learn from each other. And that has been a great great help to us. Okay? So everything is random with this Big Bang. But if you have a flat plane with a dome over it, that had to be created by somebody or something. You figure that out yourself. So if the Earth was created, so were we. We were put there. So that means something totally different than randomness, doesn't it?
Well, it's not random. It's a process.
Answer the question, why does the government say it's flat?
Okay, that's easy. The kings never wanted their servants to read. Why is that? Do you know? Why don't the kings want the servants to read? Because an educated people are hard to control. This is all about control. If they can make us feel like we're stupid, and don't the president say, oh, I'm so smart, I'm a Rhodes Scholar, and what does that mean? We're dumb? I don't think so.
But how does that control us?
If you're stupid, you're going to just submit and you're going to do what they say.
Why isn't this all being erased? Why aren't you being hunted down for this?
Who says we're not?
Well, I'm asking you, are you? You're currently here in a public space.
Yeah.
Are you?
I mean,
I'm here on freedom of speech, and
are
there
you
are.
free to be here then?
Yeah, I'm allowed to be here on freedom.
Are you afraid to say
Afraid?
This? Yeah.
I had to make a decision.
Of what?
I had to make a decision that if it ever came to that, I would do this despite. I come from a military family. Do you, anybody know any military people? As soon as they sign up, they know that there's a possibility they could be killed. You have to make that decision. How important is truth to you? Okay, if you are standing on lies, you're standing on sinking sand. The only way you can be true is if you stand on solid ground. That's what truth is, a solid ground. Okay? If you want to be controlled, if you want to work for nothing, if you want to know if your kids are your own, now a woman is different, but a man, you know. So, truth matters, guys. Truth matters. Truth matters. Truth is important. It matters. Everybody get one?
So where did you get your truth from? Like, what did you major in?
What's your source?
We have a curvature formula.
No, I mean, where did you like study all of this? Like, how did this pop in?
I studied this on my own, and I have.
Did you go to like?
There's a huge.
Like, is there an institution?
There's a huge community. There's millions of flat earthers worldwide. And if you study this and figure it out that it's true, then you'll be a flat earther too.
Do you have any background in like any of the?
I have a 4-year college degree in business. My dad was a math teacher. I understand these concepts.
Do you believe in this? Does the rest of your family believe in this stuff?
No, that doesn't matter.
Well, I'm asking you.
No. No.
Have you convinced anyone?
Well, I would like to hope I did. When I was up at Reading Community College last week, there was 3 people there that are definitely under this. I met one here, I think. Do you guys have a question?
No, ma'am. Because you put down the Mars rover, which is like, you have no evidence that it's fake.
And you have no evidence that it's true. All you have is...
We have statistical
All you
data.
have is little pictures and videos. No, data? You mean paper? Somebody wrote something on paper and you believe that it's true?
That multiple people confirmed about.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then you live that way. You believe that, and you live that way.
You got yourself.
Yep. You do that. Science is, our modern day science is really a religion because none of it can be proven. So that's your religion. The ball religion. That's what you believe.
How long have you been doing this? Like, how long have you been studying?
I got my first set of banners. This is my second set of banners. The first set I got about, I think it was March of this year. Then I started going out and teaching it. We go down to Ocean City. We've been there 3 times. We've been to Times Square, New York. I've been to Temple University. I've been to Penn State and Abington. I've been to Stockton University. Been to Montgomery County Community College. I don't know, guys. You got to look into it. Everybody get a card? You can look it up yourself at home. Did you get that? Oh, wait a minute. Weren't you the one who laughed at me and said I was stupid?
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
He's good.
Oh, he's good. Okay.
I'll take credit for it.
All right. Anybody have an intelligent question? Have I been on a what? I used to date a pilot who owned an airport. I've been in a helicopter. We flew in helicopters. You know where I flew?
Where's that?
Over top of the Limerick Towers. The Limerick, they call it nuclear. I don't think nuclear exists, but yeah, that was an awesome flight. They were not operating at the time. And you feel like you're going over the abyss. It was like, oh, wow. You know where else? He took me up to, there was a ski resort, the Blue Mountain or something, and he knew the elevation. And I said, well, where are we going? I said, don't you think we ought to go a little higher? We're pretty close to this mountain. And we went up there. He must have been 10 feet off the ski lift. And everybody like, what? And the snow was billowing. It was so much fun.
I had class.
So what was your question?
Oh, that was it. I was just wondering how long you were doing it.
Was I ever in a plane? Did you ask me that?
Yeah. Like, what do you think of the curvature of Earth from, like...
Okay, we recently got a guy who went in a plane and did infrared photography. And he got over 1,000 miles. So that is awesome. You got to look into this. It's so fascinating, the science behind it. I mean, we got some guys doing some really fascinating work. Yeah, I should have gotten the sun, but it's awesome. This is really awesome stuff.
This is not a chance.
Alright, I think it's time.
Hi, did you get one?
Yeah. You said the Earth is flat.
Yes, sir.
So why does your keychain have a limit?
Because I have to demonstrate the curvature formula. If it goes out, it has to drop. No matter where you are, no matter where you're standing on this globe, you're on top of the world. Everything has to go down from there. Okay, so that's why I carry this around.
So I'm confused. Like, you know that building in Dubai, like that telescope?
Yeah.
Like, so what's the like?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that picture of them? Like, is it?
Yeah, wide-angle lens.
But like, multiple people have been up there and taken that.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's a couple of things that can be factors in that. First off, you can only see so far.
Yeah.
So your field of vision is a circle, right? Now, we've been told since we were 5 years old that then this was sitting on the teacher's desk, that we live on a globe.
Yeah.
So when we see something like this, we think, oh, that must be the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what we're looking at, really. We really don't know the true meaning of what we're seeing. And when you study perspective, this is perspective here. You know those railroad tracks continue, but you can't see them. It's a vanishing point, vanishing line with a horizon. So you got to study that. It took me 2 weeks studying that to get it in my head. You have to understand what you're looking at. You don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I have a question.
Okay.
So I have a friend who's a sniper. Now he takes long-range shots.
Did you get one?
We're talking. No, not yet. Thank you. He's taking shots over a mile. He has to adjust for the curvature of the Earth and how it rotates. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I don't believe it.
You don't believe that?
No, no, because there's. I've seen sniper documents, the manual, the training manual. It's not in there.
Not in there?
No, it's not. You don't have to do that. They could tell you something, but it really is something else.
So adjusting for wind
Curvature of the Earth is nothing more than this. When it's going away from you, it's like that.
Yes.
It's not Coriolis effect or any of that. So it's just like a matter of the bullet will drop.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't believe in gravity, that we're being pulled down to the Earth. I think we're being pushed down. I do know there's a rate of fall, and you have a formula for that.
Yes.
But I don't think it's a pull. I think it's a push. By diamagnetism, and we live inside a torus field. Did you get one?
No, actually.
Okay.
Question. What about
architects who have to build long bridges.
Okay, how long is Manhattan?
I'm not sure.
Okay, it's more than a mile. So that would mean that the buildings at one end of Manhattan and the buildings at the other, their tops would have to be farther apart than the bottoms, right? It's not happening. It's not happening. Sure. Okay, you gotta think about these things. How can you prove it to yourself? Don't just go on what anybody says. Prove it to yourself. Think for yourself.
What is the Gleason's Flat Earth map? Because that's my last name, and I just want to know.
Oh, is it? Cool. Very cool. Did you know that? Are you related to Jackie Gleason?
No. I wish I was.
Yeah. So this is the Gleason's map. It was in the Boston. Well, I think it's still in the Boston's library.
Okay.
1746 or something. Anyway, yeah, that's the flat Earth map. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around.
Who's the guy that? What's his first name? Is it her? Do you know?
No.
I just want to make sure I'm not related.
I would think it would be a man. Not many women did stuff like that back then.
Right.
So it had to have been a man. Anybody need a card?
I have a question. So if you believe that the Earth is flat, does that mean all the other planets are flat too?
No, the only thing we know about planets is that they're a circle, a two-dimensional object. You cannot see anything that determines they're a sphere. Even Jupiter that they say rotates, I don't think it does. I've talked to 2 astronomers on this, and I think it's a red spot that just moves. It's not attached. It just moves
What
across.
about like Saturn's rings?
Well, you don't see them moving, do you? All you see is a circle with 2 crescents. You don't see anything moving.
What about satellites that rotate around like Mars? Like we send ships in the
Well,
that rotate.
I don't know. I don't know every answer, but I do know there's no curvature. Okay? So I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to doubt everything they tell me until I know for sure. There's no curvature.
Guilty until proven innocent. I like it. It's a good idea.
They're not human. Humans should be innocent, not planets.
I'm saying the humans that came up with the theories, they're guilty until proven innocent. I like it.
Well,
There's no reason not to.
did you get a card? Anybody else have a question? Everything you see on the banners, everything you see on the banners is on the video when you go to this link. So you'll see that, except for the things that are not numbered. The things that are not numbered, I put on there myself.
I have a question.
I actually designed the whole banners myself.
So if the Earth is flat, what's underneath it?
What's a what?
If the Earth is flat, what's underneath it?
I don't know. You gonna say it's a turtle or an elephant or something like that? And yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it could just be the tree roots.
So this is a genuine question. Really? Gravity, what's it generated by? Or you believe it's pushed down? So there's no.
Yeah, I don't think we're being pulled to the center of a ball. Were you here for the Bonneville Salt Flats explanation?
No.
Okay, so if there is something called gravity, then, and there's curvature, then there would be no Bonneville Salt Flats.
What are the Bonneville
Because it was a lake that dried up, an ancient lake, okay? And there would have to be curve, and then the bottom would be curved. So there's no curve. It's flat. That's why they call it the Salt Flats. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then look up Salar de Uyuni down in Bolivia. That's 100 miles by 80 miles. Look up Suez Canal, which is 100 miles of flat. And then Lake Baikal in Siberia, 400 miles of flat.
So then, are there layers of the Earth? Like, is there a crust mantle core?
We only dug a hole 8 miles deep. 8 miles deep. That's all I know.
Okay.
I'm not going past there.
It's like okay. So in theory, if there is like a
See,
bottom layer,
theory.
there would have to be a bottom layer, right? There'd have to be somewhere where it stops. Minecraft. Right?
Okay.
I mean, well, if it's flat, there has to be a bottom to anything.
I guess.
It has to be a 3-dimensional.
Like there's a bottom to this. There's a bottom to this car. There has to be some sort of bottom.
Okay, what is it?
Exactly. So if it is, molten metal, is the bottom just hard? Like you hit on it like an iron?
See,
rod?
now I don't know. Your guess is
Have
as
you
good
asked
as mine.
Elon Musk to go up into space and check for yourself.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He put a Tesla car in space, right?
He also smoked weed with Joe Rogan.
Do you guys? What did he say?
He smoked weed with Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, yeah.
Two of them.
So really, what is a Tesla car in space? Why didn't the tires explode? I mean, did you know that they took off the rear view mirror? Did you know that?
That's crazy.
Why would they do that?
Traffic in space.
I mean, do you really think it's up there? Do you think they
probably
put
don't need to merge in space.
Come on.
Isn't that crowded up
Come on. Now here's another thing. Space is supposedly a vacuum, right? So how do you have a pressure system next to a vacuum without a physical barrier? It can't happen. You have to have a physical barrier.
There is.
What?
The ionic barrier.
Did you want one of these cards?
Could I have one of those?
Sure.
So do you believe if you can't touch something, it's not physical?
If you can't touch something?
As in if you can't hold it in your hand. Because you know that what we're standing in right now is our air and it is our atmosphere. It's then contained by an ionic barrier thousands of miles up.
But that's gravity.
The sun's radiation.
That's gravity, though.
Not gravity.
It's not gravity.
Gravity's a pull.
So then how are we protected from the sun's radiation?
Well,
and that has been.
The sun is very close and very small.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yes.
It's much larger than that.
Okay, our model says the sun is close and small.
Okay. It still gives off radiation.
The sun's radiation and the ozone, I don't believe there's an ozone.
Not much anymore, but...
At all. It never existed. I think there's a dome.
Okay.
But we've
A dome.
Like the Stephen King
Like, what's that guy? They mock it all the time. Truman Show.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Biopic.
So the dome protects us from the sun's radiation.
No, the sun, I think, is within the dome.
So then what are we being protected?
Now, some people in the flat earth community believe the sun is outside of the dome.
Okay.
And it's a projection. I think it's a filament.
Might be a pretty good one.
I think it's a filament. And the free-flowing electricity is what energizes it. So that's my theory on that.
Okay.
But I still know that there's no curvature.
I don't care about it. The curvature, that's probably not.
Well, if there's no curvature, you have to question what you're being taught, right?
Yeah,
okay, so do that.
So,
what?
What does your ruler here prove?
This is the curvature formula. This isn't a ruler, it's a level, spirit level, right? See? So the 8 inches times a mile squared. That's the curvature formula for the ball that you say you live on?
Yes.
Okay, that I don't think we live on that. We don't. Actually, we don't. So these are all the 3 miles, you get 6 feet, all that. You can't find curvature anywhere.
Well, I'm sorry, what is all that?
Does not exist. Miles. 6 miles is 24 feet. 10 miles, 66 feet.
Wait, so if I walk 66 feet in that direction, I walk 10 miles?
Huh?
You said 66 feet is 10 miles.
Curvature, 66 feet down.
What about
when you are on a ball, however far out you go out 10 miles, it got to drop 66 feet. It's got to drop.
Oh, okay.
That's curvature.
I thought we were going 66
equal
feet.
to 10 miles, and I was going to be like, that's going to make my workout a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I'm still having slightly a panic attack. If the sun is inside of our dome, then we're going to get fried pretty soon.
No. It's very small.
Well, it still gives
and
off radiation.
it's not a ball of burning plasma.
What is it?
It's a filament.
It's like a light
That's
bulb.
my theory.
Edison invented the sun.
My theory is it's a filament.
Like a light bulb.
If you're saying that Edison made the flat Earth.
I'm saying that Edison made the sun if it's a filament.
No.
So if the Earth has been here for billions of years...
I'm sorry?
If the Earth has been here for billions of years and the light bulb was
I don't believe it's been billions of years
ago.
either. I don't believe that, but what's your question?
Well, the Earth has been here for billions of years.
That's your belief. That's your belief.
People didn't accept.
That's a scientific fact.
That's your belief. You can't prove it.
Okay.
Wait, so do you have a question?
No, I guess not.
I have a question.
Since you're invalidating my question.
Okay.
Why are they lying about it?
The kings don't want the serfs to read. Did you know that? Why don't the kings want the serfs to read back in the ancient?
Then they can rise up. Right.
He's smart. So think of that. Educated people are hard to control. This is totally about control. They want to control us. If they can...
So then why do they let us open up colleges dedicated to science where we research our planet?
Because they tell you the science that they want you to know. They put it in a textbook.
So who is this
Wait, they put it in a textbook.
Tell me who they is.
And they test you on that textbook. And if you don't tell them back
Who is this them?
Yeah.
The powers that be.
Which is?
Whoever they are. The kings. Didn't you know there's like 13 bloodlines who are still in power? Elections don't matter. They select who they want. Did you know? Did you know that the United States is a corporation? Did you know the United States is a corporation?
Actually, yes.
Okay. So
far you're on the right track.
they don't care who you elect. They select a president.
That's called voting. Ooh.
They put it's a board of directors.
I can take that. So far, government is run by money. It does need money to run. So far you're good. And that is what we were taught. So if we were taught that, do you not believe that?
No, I think it is that way, but it shouldn't.
It says the government is a corporation.
It should not be that way. 1781, that's when it was changed into a corporation. Originally, it was not supposed to be that way. Did you know when you go into a courtroom, the gold fringe on the flag means that it's maritime law. We don't have rights in a courtroom. Look into that. Look into that. You are too young. You are very too young, really, to have been in any serious trouble.
Because age does not matter in this argument.
I have a court hearing for killing you.
Excuse me.
Look into maritime law.
What does it mean?
And the bar, that it all has like secret meanings.
Do you know what maritime?
I have a question.
Yes, it means that the captain of the ship can make it up any way he wants. He is God on that ship. Like the judge is the God of the courtroom.
Well, that's what it means. Okay, actually, my definition is from the Oxford English Dictionary, so that's probably not true.
Just look into it. Just look into it.
I have a question.
Okay, what?
What power do we have knowing the Earth is flat? What power do you hold higher?
We only have power if we all get together and unite and say we're not doing this anymore.
No, why would they lie to us? What power does it give if we know the Earth's flat? Like you're saying they're trying to control us. What advantage does knowing
the world would be a lot different.
How? Please explain how it would be.
I can't explain that to you.
So if you can't explain how it's different, why does it matter if the Earth is flat and if
it doesn't matter?
Why does it matter?
Why would they lie for something that doesn't matter?
Yeah. I have a question. Why are you here? What does it make any difference if the world is flat and the world is round? What is the difference? I want to know. How does this truly affect us?
It doesn't give us any power.
I want to know. I want to know.
Okay, you know where you're going to find that answer? Right in there.
In my heart?
You're going to find that.
I'm going to find out what
you cannot. Nobody can tell you that answer, young man. You're going to have to figure it out.
Then how are you going to tell me?
What?
What about the seasons? Like, people are always educated that the seasons are caused because the Earth rotates.
And it's tilted. That's why they're told it's the seasons. But the sun goes from the Tropic of Cancer to equator. It moves around, and then it gets down to Capricorn. And then it moves back.
Why is the whole, if we stay in the room and put a light bulb on the top, isn't everything at the bottom?
This is the seasons right here. There's Cancer, equator, Capricorn. And then it moves like this. It only illuminates part. But it's...
Then what blocks it from illuminating the other half? It's flat, it should just keep going.
It's a small light. It's a small light. Did you know 2 miles away there's a light on? Can you see it? No.
I can't see 2 miles.
No. Let's be smart about this.
All right, so this is in theory now. If I can see 2 miles,
no,
and
it's
see the
not
light
a theory. If there is a light far enough away, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah, because it effectively runs out of its energy.
Did you ever drive in a fog?
Yes.
Okay, stretch that fog out, and you won't see very far.
But that's because there's
Really?
particles in my way. It's not like a clear view.
Yes.
But so
Yes.
then, if it's a light and it rotates, how come let's say the North Pole, it has seasons, like it's yearly, like there's light, like times in the day, or not in the year, where it has like 23 hours of darkness. But if the light
24.
24 hours.
And there's times that it has 24 hours light.
Yes. So does this light bulb go up and like rotate up and down, or does it like with the season changes? Does it like so like for one season it'll be up towards the center, and then the next season it moves down and keeps rotating?
The sun moves around.
Yes, I
Okay,
see that in the
it goes this way. Wherever it's closest to, it puts that heat and light on the surface.
Okay.
So it just moves around and around and around. It goes from Cancer to the equator.
So it does move down.
Yes, it moves. It moves. Yes, and when it...
Did you learn all this information?
We have a very large flat Earth community. We have science. We have scientists in our community. Who said that?
There was a documentary on Vice.
Really? And who was who put that out?
Vice.
Vice?
Vice, yes.
Well, who is Vice? Are they truth tellers? I mean, how do you know that?
Yeah, they film documentaries.
I mean, I've seen Vice.
Then how come at the conference last year there were 600 people?
I highly doubt that.
I was there.
Okay.
Anyway, where's your sourcing coming from?
Then don't believe it. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. Not at all. Don't believe any of it. No.
Okay, let me tell you anyway. Telling people that they're young and dumb and trying